So, guys, topic 2 of the day. Colin, this one's really for you. Now, Greg, I want your thoughts as well. But
I'm glad.
For months, we've been doing this show. This is the 11th month of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. And every month, we've talked about Fallout 4 coming. Going to be this thing that takes over everyone's lives. The world's going to stop. Everyone will see the light. No video game will sell a single copy because Fallout 4 is going to sell
I don't think I said
all of the copies. Now that it's here, now that you've put some time into the game, has Fallout 4 changed the world?
No, Fallout 4 hasn't changed the world, but I never said it was going to change the world.
I'm being an asshole.
But it's definitely changed the gaming world. I mean, it's not like changed the way we're going to look at games forever or anything like that. I don't think it's that particular game, but it's fun watching the statistics, especially on PC, how the game's doing. It sold 1.2 million copies in a day on PC. It had more concurrence than Dota, which is like ridiculous for a single player game. It's definitely a phenomenon. I mean, it's definitely clearly going to sell very, 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 very well.
I don't know if I'd call it a phenomenon, right? I think everybody's lives are just about normal.
I love that you were waiting for that.
I was like, when do I bring up the Pit Boy arm?
So loud.
I'm excited. I've been uncorked lately.
You've been uncorked?
Yeah.
Oh, and your loudness?
Just lately?
Yeah.
The last couple of days of Colin and Greg Live, we've been having fun.
You brought out the good in me.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I forgot about how much fun that show can be.
You guys could just keep doing it. That's fine with me. That's totally fine.
I mean, so, going back to it though, like, I'm being hyperbolic about it, but like, you really did kind of hype this up as like, it was just going to change, like, not change the world, but like,
life ends.
Things were fucked that were around this. Yeah. And like, did you still stand by that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting to watch. I think I was probably wrong about Black Ops 3, considering, and I don't know where I talked about that. I thought it was on the show, but about how I kind of didn't really understand the undercurrent of Call of Duty fandom, about how it's swayed out of nowhere to Treyarch. And people hated Treyarch like 5 years ago, so I didn't realize that had changed. So I think I saw the game. People have been sending me links. I didn't read any of them, but about Call of Duty, Black Ops 3 selling extraordinarily well.
Yeah,
so
today we did a story on Colin Live from Variety that it's the biggest entertainment launch of all time, or this year. Yeah,
of all time this
$550 million, right?
Yes,
Beating Jurassic World,
Jurassic
but not
World.
explaining if it included the bundle prices.
Yeah, so it's definitely selling well. It remains to be seen how Battlefront's doing. Obviously, Microsoft's been weird with Halo numbers. They don't really have anything
Do you
interesting
think that
to
was
say about
because of Ghost though, the Call of Duty thing? Because forever it was just the Modern Warfare, Black Ops kind of switch off, right? And then Ghost was kind of the one that just came out of nowhere. And
yeah, well, there was World at War and other things, and then Advanced Warfare was after that as well. I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, it was more studios going back and forth.
You're right. There wasn't.
So it's I don't know if it's specifically that. I think it's more that there's more developers in the mix now, and these games seem to be more collective efforts as well. The Call of Duty games seem to be just a kind of a whole Activision first party kind of effort when they, with Raven and all these other studios kind of working on them, just the way Neversoft worked on them for a while.
Yeah.
So has it changed like everything? No, I mean I played it for 15 hours before it came out. I actually haven't played the game in like a week, just because other things have come up in my own life and I've not really been playing games. But it's just watching anecdotally the way people feel about it. It seems like some people don't like it. That's not surprising to me. A lot of people, I don't want to say a lot, but people didn't like Fallout 3 in New Vegas as well. The same problems they had with those games are the problems that they have with this game. So that's the kind of stuff you can't really solve for. I mean, Bethesda could potentially solve for it, I guess, but
then that's
don't.
Alienating the people that like what this is.
Well, that's what's fascinating about the whole thing is the people who are against it, who are saying, well, it's this, it's that, it looks bad, it's glitchy, this, that, and the other. I just feel like, what did you expect? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is back to what we talk about a little bit with when I talk about my Batman DLC, right? Like, I had my expectations set at the correct level, and that's what this game is. You know what I mean? I'm getting what I expected out of Fallout 4, and that's awesome and great, and I'm loving it. You know what I mean? But I do see people super bent out of shape about it, that it's this, that, the other. I'm just like, well, just because they jumped to a platform didn't mean their engine was going to suddenly like snap into shit. It'd be amazing, and there's draw distances and this, that, and the other.
A couple weeks ago, we were talking about that, where you were saying that like you expect this, but you're hoping that like something crazy changes, but like. I mean, you didn't expect that. And that's why you're not let down.
Exactly.
You're enjoying what you got. It is interesting to me to see everyone else freak the fuck out though, because like the internet right now, they're like, oh, like this is like a Telltale game. The engine fucking sucks and this and that. And it's just like, I don't know about that.
I think it's back to what we were talking about with like, again, we've talked about this on multiple shows. And, we make Colin and I hatch one point usually and then just beat it into the ground through 5 or 6 shows. I had made this point, right, that I thought what this Fallout would be is, similar to what Persona 5 is going to be, right? Where all of a sudden there's finally this giant game that comes out in a series everyone's talked about forever. You know what I mean? And I don't know how many people who are like, it's a Telltale game. I had ever played Fallout 3 and really understood what that game looked like and felt like and ran like. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now they're jumping into this game, this franchise that everyone's made out to be so beloved, so amazing, so life-changing.
Yeah.
And you get there like, this isn't that at all.
Yeah, I think the problems are predictable. I mean, I wasn't under no illusion that the Bethesda, it's a Bethesda game and it's going to run like a Bethesda game. And there's a lot of, again, hyperbole out there about the way the game looks and the way the game runs. And I understand that. I mean, all I can speak of from my point of view, having only played about 15 hours of the game, is I've not run into any game-breaking bugs or anything like super bad in the game in 15 hours. And I can tell you that I didn't go that far into Fallout 3 or New Vegas without running into significant bugs or getting stuck in the environment or something. I'm not saying that that's not happening to people. It definitely is, but it's not happening to me. So that didn't suck me out of the experience. The hyperbole about the way the game looks, it looks like Fallout 3. Like, no, it doesn't. You really don't know what the hell you're talking about if you think the game looks like Fallout 3. I mean, no offense. Like, just put the two games. Just put the two games next to each other. The art styles are the same. Yeah. They're bland, post-apocalyptic art styles, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I think what people are reacting to is Dying Light and Witcher 3, which are these gigantic next-gen open-world games that just look and run way, way, way better, and they're no less ambitious than Fallout, and I think that's the problem. That's why I said in our review discussion, Fallout 4 is the epitome of a game that was made in a vacuum. This is a game that has been under development since before Skyrim came out, so this is a game that was in development since at least 2011, if not 2010. So it's just the nature of the way the game was developed. And I'm sure Bethesda, they're not stupid. They know that they're sacrificing one thing for the other. It's a matter of if you enjoy being sucked into that world, and you can let those things go. I do think it doesn't look good aesthetically next to Witcher 3, which is really just as big and maybe even more ambitious in some ways. And so I understand why people are upset about that. That's why I'm so impressed with the way CD Projekt Red and Techland really came out of nowhere. And are making games on Bethesda's level, because that was, see, when Fallout 3 came out, no one was making games like that. Like, no one was really, really, really making games like that except for Bethesda, whether it was Morrowind or Oblivion or Fallout 3 or Skyrim. I mean, these were kind of uniquely Bethesda games, but now it's not to say no one was making open world RPGs or anything like that. I was just to say that the breadth of those games were really unrivaled, and that's not the case anymore. So I think people are reacting to that as well. It's a matter of the content of the games and the world and whether or not you enjoy those things or not. But I think that I'm not super surprised about people's reaction to Fallout 4, because it's people's reaction to Fallout 3. Nothing anyone is saying about this game on an aesthetic or engine level is anything new, And so, like, none of it, not a single thing. So what I'm a bit more surprised about with Fallout 4 are the things that I don't like that have nothing to do with that. And that's not something that I hear a lot of people talking about, because I think I'm kind of in the minority on that. So I don't know.
What about you, Greg?
What about it?
How you feeling?
Love it.
Good.
58 hours in, beat the story last night. Tonight's mission will be to go back, play the other way, go make other choices to see the other side of the ending. Keep working on the platinum, and keep chipping away at it. Keep going at it. Beat it 58 hours in, level 43, I believe is where that ended for me. Plenty more to do, tons more to do. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out to platinum it and do all this stuff. It's like what we're talking about, right? It's what I expected. I don't think it. I don't think it. I was like we talked about on the show, right? Like. This is what I expect it to be, and I hope it, supersedes those, gets past that. Did it maybe a little bit here and there, but overall, it's very much Fallout, and that's what I was in the mood for. And that's the thing is, like, I remember when I was getting excited for Witcher, like, Christine was giving me such shit. She's like, "You've never played the other Witcher games. You don't even like high fantasy. Like, why are you into this?" And I'm like, I just want to get into a world where I can exist, and that's what Fallout is. Fallout's the world I'd want to exist in terms of Witcher or Fallout, right? That's I like Western role playing games, but I like them when they are set in America, or there's these touchstones for me to connect with. Whereas when Geralt's fighting all these goddamn witches, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening or care. This is the game where I want to keep chipping away, and I want to get to level 50, and I want to do all these things. I'm a little bit not upset, I guess, but right, like, going back tonight and playing this other direction in my story, and then going back and going to this one place to do these quests that I didn't get the chance to first do is fun, but I'm actually kind of disappointed in that because I made my choices and I made my thing, and now I want to explore the world after those choices. You know what I mean? With my character and what I built. But now it's like, well, now I got to go back and do these like fake little things to then go back to go there. And
why do you have to do that?
A platinum. I want to platinum.
So you missed trophies because of the decisions you made?
Yeah. You definitely have to have save files before you make choices to platinum the game in quote unquote one playthrough and not go back and replay and do a different thing.
Like late in the game.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that.
That's not uncommon.
No, that's not uncommon. But the at least it doesn't end like Fallout 3 ended.
Right.
And they actually had to like really patch that.
Yeah, they made a big deal about that when this game ends, you can keep playing.
That was like so stupid. I hated that. Yeah, I think that Fallout 4, yeah, it's definitely, I mean, the game's gonna sell, 10 plus million. I have no doubt about that. If that's only like a couple more million, I think, than Witcher sold. So it's obviously going to be this huge phenomenon. So do I stand by this like game changing, game altering, mind altering kind of thing? Yeah, in the sense that it's a very disruptive game. Tomb Raider is supposed to be really, really good on Xbox One. I'll be really interested to see how poorly it sells. Yeah, I don't see anyone talking about it, and I
see a lot of people talking about it.
Well, I see the reviews went up, and I see people saying like, oh, it's good, and I saw a few people from IGN, like our old friends, having played it. I don't see any like organic conversation in our community about it at all.
There was the other day.
Have you been on the Facebook page?
Not since yesterday, but no. I mean, I haven't seen anything.
The Kind of Funny Facebook group. I mean, I was almost going to make this a topic on the show of just like the fanboyism going on of the people that are fighting for Tomb Raider versus Fallout, the Xbox One versus PS4, and I just thought it was ridiculous of how passionate people are getting about the specific things. But I see a lot of
yeah. I mean, that's fanboy stuff. I don't think Tomb Raider is going to sell very well, and I don't think it's a reflection on the game. I'll be really interested to see, based on the install base of Xbox One, if the game actually sells better on PlayStation 4. Because it'll come out there next year. I think that's probably not a likely, but a possible scenario. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you got to take these things kind of with a grain of salt, because I'm looking more for data than passionate.
The thing about it was yesterday, it was something along the lines of, this is wrong, but it was like, on Twitter for the trends, right? It was like 200,000 tweets about Fallout 4, and then it was like 2,000 about Tomb Raider. There was like this giant gap where it was like they were right next to each other on my little trends thing, and then the numbers were way, way off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot like on GAF and everywhere. Like, there's definitely a lot of positive chatter about it.
I want it to do well. I don't think that it's doing very well. Critically, I just don't. I think it was just a huge mistake to release it then. I think they'll see that when the NPD plays out. But because between that and Call of Duty, I mean, where is the mind share really?
For sure.
And then Battlefront comes out next week, so it's pretty much game over for Tomb Raider, I think. But not in a critical way. And I'm sure. I hope it's profitable. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, that's another one of those things where I hope I'm wrong, because it seems like the game's quite good, but I just don't see how it's going to exist in a world where on PC alone, Fallout 4 there's like 500,000 people at one time playing the game at any given time. It's like, okay, so that's just an extraordinary amount of mind share being taken up by a single player game, and a lot of new people are coming to the 4 as well. And remember that Fallout 3 sold like 4.5 million units by the end of 2008. So like, you're going to look at 3 times that, if not more, probably with Fallout 4, just based on similar install bases of these consoles. Remember PS3 at that time was only 2 years old, which is hard to kind of contextualize, but it's true. So PS4 outselling PS3. There's gonna be more of these consoles in the wild. Fallout's very popular on PC, so I don't know. It's just there's only so much oxygen. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
I'm excited to play Tomb Raider when I'm done with Fallout. But when am I going to be done with Fallout? And then on top of that, Battlefront's going, and I want to be. I want to play Battlefront when other people are playing Battlefront. And it's like my Tomb Raider time keeps slipping, and then it's Thanksgiving, and I'm not bringing an Xbox One to Chicago. You know what I mean? Like,
you'd have to check that shit.
Right, I'd have to get one of them Pelican cases, wheel it in there, put the big Fragile.
And it's so heavy that you probably have to pay more money.
So when do you think you're gonna get back into Fallout, Colin?
I'd like to. I mean, I just have not had the moment to do it. I had a kind of a crazy weekend. We were doing Extra Life. I don't play games on Sundays because I watch football. And then we're working, and yesterday I had dinner plans. Tonight I have dinner plans. So it's as soon as possible, but I don't know. Like it just kind of life has intervened.
How many hours do you see yourself putting into it once you do get back?
I mean, I want to beat it, and I assume I'll platinum it as well. So I mean, however long that takes, but I want to spend time with it. I mean, it's nothing. The reason I've not played the game is nothing against the game. It's just that life has intervened. So I did not anticipate life was going to intervene in this way, but it has, and so I just roll with it, and I'm kind of happy about it because I'm not really anxious to play it right now. Mm-hmm. My mind's kind of occupied with other stuff, so it's just I'll get to it when it'll be there.
See, that's all I want to do. Everything we do, every conversation with Kevin, I'm like, shut up and get out of my house, so I can just play Fallout. And again, not because I'm trying to run through and be crazy. I just want to exist in that world. Sorry, Kevin. You suck.
It's another big question, and I don't want like the actual answer to this because we'll save that for the end of the year probably. But the game of the year conversation, is this still in the same place going into like you beat it, you haven't beat it yet, but just going into still having 2 months left of this year, where is this in the conversation?
It's going to be high in the conversation, I think. I mean, I haven't beaten it yet, but I don't know that right now it's not unseeded games that I prefer over it, but it's going to be it's going to win Game of the Year awards from big websites. I mean, in publications, there's no doubt about that. So, we have to remember, I think it's settling more in the high 80s in Metacritic, which is a little lower than I thought it was going to, but sites have given it 9s and 9.5s pretty universally. So it'll be hard to imagine that it's not going to be up in there. With Metal Gear.
All up in it.
I think it'll be between that and Metal Gear. I still think that Witcher is going to get ignored by most outlets.
We'll see. Kind of funny forums.
Mm-hmm. Well, between that and Metal Gear, Greg, I mean, that's pretty much right up your alley.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing right now is like I shied away from it on the live stream I did on whatever, where I played 7 hours on Monday, right? Because people were asking me, and when I'm in the moment, I think that's really hard. I want to step back and really take it all in and and judge them as a game by game. I mean, all that said, all that bullshit out the window. I mean, having just beaten it last night, I think Metal Gear is still my pick. I love Fallout. It's great, but it is Fallout. It is what I expected. The ending didn't blow my hair back. You know what I mean? Like it was like, okay. And like this morning I was talking to Christine about it in vague reference because she's still like, you can hear her screaming as she streams it right now, right? Of just like, for me, Fallout games are about the journey, not the destination. And so there was like great moments. There's so many great moments in the journey. You know what I mean? So many things that I remember in my moments and da-da-da-da-da. And I think they did so much right. Like I keep going back to, the fact that you finally speak and you see yourself when you talk and all these different things. But like overall, especially after trying and failing to platinum Metal Gear Extra Life, right? Yeah. Like jumping back into Metal Gear, it's like, this is such a good fucking game. Like this is so well put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm really excited to see where this goes with all of us.
I'm excited to get Tomb Raider in the mix because that is the thing. That is next for me in terms of single player games, and I like the first Tomb Raider a lot. You know what I mean? And like the reaction it's gotten from our critic friends. You know what I mean? Alexa, Mitch, all these people who talk about it. Like,
the way they're talking about it too, it's like it sounds hyperbolic. Like some of it's just like that sounds too good for what I would think a Tomb Raider game could be. But it's still downloading at my house.
I'm not bring your unit over here.
Yeah, but now it's like. Last I saw last night, it was like 56% downloaded. So I'm like, I'm not gonna stop it now.
I'm not surprised that it's good. I mean, this was a weird thing when people were talking about it where I'm like, why is everyone surprised? Like I'm not surprised it's good. I had no doubt it was gonna be great. I mean, what I was concerned, I felt bad for them because they're sending it out to die, and like I just don't understand how you can't see it any other way, but like Aaron Greenberg told us on the podcast a few weeks ago, there was really no good choice.
Your date's your date.
Yeah, like they move it out of the way of Fallout, and they're just going to be in the way of something else. So it's that might even be more catastrophic for them. So I get that. I just felt bad for them because I knew the game was going to be great, and I feel bad that it's gonna it's just not going to be able to shine the way it probably should be able to shine. But I still don't know that I'll play it until it comes to PS4. I don't see that happening. Because after Fallout, I'd like to maybe try some other games that I missed this year. I still want to go back and beat Dying Light, which I fucking adore. I adore that game, and I'm interested to see since I haven't played it in 6+ months if I still adore it or not. And then I really I keep saying I really want to go back to BioShock Infinite and Evil Within, and so I'm gonna try to use that time this fall and winter if I can to kind of get through those games. I'm not really trying to. Like I said on our Fallout 4 review, I'm not trying to be up any game's ass anymore. Like, and that's why I was trying to be a little more restrained when I had time to play Fallout 4 to not play it the way I would play games back in the day, because I'm kind of just trying to savor them a little bit more and play at my leisure and mix things up a little bit in terms of my entertainment, so that I'm really looking forward to going back to it. And now I'm in a position where I'm really looking forward to going back to Fallout. I just don't have time now, so it's just the way the cookie crust crumbles.
That's just the way it is. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo.